Now it's 1960. If you don't play 1960, if you don't play that, they might run you out of there. Who the hell is this?
They do have like their minimum.
Hey, you gotta play Hey Hey.
Now we talking about these songs are 4 or 5 years old.
I know, yeah.
So I mean, that's my issue with the crib. You're right. When I play at home, I don't play with Sean. We play that double door. We play someone on the side.
See, we got to document that. No, there's a reason why. I'm going to tell y'all in a second.
In Chicago now.
This is the best thing I've heard.
Great debate.
Man, I'm like half-assed at that point. I'm like, really? Okay, great.
How many times can we hear that song? Type it to the radio.
I'm up there making requests.
Well,
I
see,
never fucking make requests.
106 now, they do a house. Now, 106 now, they got a house night. Well, they telling you to send your mix in anywhere. They'll play it. Really? So Lil Jon and Mike Dunn, they own it.
Yeah, they get it
So
in.
they playing stuff that you ain't heard.
Mike Dunn is doing it.
Mike Dunn.
Mike Dunn had one of the
Did y'all go to the that Hot Mix 5 reunion thing they do up on the north side?
They do like
Cubby Bear.
they do like 3 a year.
It was like,
They do like 3 a year.
Yeah.
Because we went
like
to the one
the BMX house. It's like
yep.
jumping
But they got a big one coming up though at the Chicago Theater.
Hey, next week they got a big one.
Yeah, that's it.
That's October 13th. That's the one I'm talking
It's their
about.
house. That's a con. They already sold 600 tickets.
But that's the BMX era. That's that jumping Julia Perez and all of that.
They got Frankie Knuckles. They got everybody.
Oh, really?
David doing it.
Which means that's gonna be.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's why I'm like, yeah.
It's gonna be bullshit.
All right, I need y'all to give me a recap real quick for Houston.
Yeah.
Chose a few picnics. I heard some key points. I just need y'all to touch on music, how y'all feel about where they was at with it, old and new.
Well, definitely old. Old music is they're definitely gonna play that because of Chicago.
But they did. They mixed it up a little bit this
But
year.
we had Louis Vega, so Louis Vega gonna play the classics and then he gonna play his
Amen.
stuff.
All right, somebody touched on Stuck in 80.
Not as chosen few. We talking about in Chicago,
Southside, 30 and over. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Now, 'cause, see, I'm a house DJ in Houston,
Okay.
heavily influenced by Chicago, but I'm not from Chicago.
Okay.
So everybody y'all talking about, I know these cats.
You got some false flagging house heads who are house heads because they know other house heads, and they don't want to hear no new stuff.
Which is
All they
crazy.
want to hear is the data stuff you talk, and then you know what I'm saying? There's some fun.
Hey, no, this is what I'm after right here.
Especially when the young cats come in who we know ain't of age for house.
Thank you.
But all they want to hear is stuff that they other brothers and sisters
Which
listen
is
to.
crazy.
But anything that real house heads know about that ain't the normal 10 or 20 songs, they cussing the DJ out. Blah,
that's
blah.
retarded.
Right.
Well,
That's
right.
retarded.
And that's the battle I'm facing in Houston because
I'm not talking about new music.
I play, I'd say from 88 and newer because we didn't have house music in Texas in the first place.
Okay.
So the warehouse did not exist to us.
Got it.
So disco was disco.
Got it.
And then when house music was born, we're like, this is some new shit. Some of us got on it, some of us didn't. But we got some Chicago people. There y'all go. Chicago folks got on it and like, you ain't real house music because you're not disco.
That's not true though.
And we've been having our bouts with that.
Okay, 2 things. When we say deep house, we say that's disco. In Chicago, that's disco.
But that's Chicago lingo. Deep house in the rest of the world is something
deep
totally
house-
different.
Deep house is a little more transient, a little more beat laced.
Because Shawnee from the Groove Temple.
Exactly.
That's my homegirl. She's heavily influenced my style. We met 10 years after I got on her site.
Okay.
Because she was out somewhere out DJing. Me and her vibe well, but most Chicago heads don't like her because she don't play the disco.
Like,
Listen.
here's another example. Acid tracks. Only
I got some acid tracks joints.
in New York. The only people playing acid tracks back in the 80s. Now a lot of people don't know what acid tracks is.
But see, I know what it is because I got that.
Right.
But
So
see,
you
the
play some
thing,
Adonis,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
little
A lot of these false flags, they like, oh, I don't want to hear about it because they wasn't into it when that was playing.
Right. And the reason I'm documenting this is because we got, I'd say, 40 Chicago heads, old school Chicago people in Houston.
Okay.
They act like they wrote the beginning, ending, middle, the addendum to house, and if it ain't from their era house, it's not house. And they.
But you know what? That's so short-sighted. That's so short-sighted because.
And y'all are Chicago people saying this, right?
Born and raised.
Listen to these Chicago folks.
Born and raised. And here's the thing. So you gotta broaden your fucking horizons. It's like 2012. Guess what? It's a whole nother.
There's a lot of good stuff that came.
Evolution to this.
I don't blame that on the people. I blame it on the DJs shoveling. And you gotta shovel a little bit at a time. You gotta play a hit to make them like it. If you never play it, I ain't gonna never know.
I think a lot of people, honestly, and this is my take as a DJ.
It's a key.
A lot of DJs are doing what they saw other DJs do to be successful, as opposed to doing their own thing. What made me like Chicago as a whole, I mean, because it was a life changer for me, was when I went to WGCI. Their mix show sounded different than BMX.
Yeah.
And then y'all had another station. This was like 91. I mean, I got tapes.
But remember, that's you on the cusp right there.
Yeah.
But that's what brought me in the house, was that era.
And went to GC. Because at that time, they both was different stations. Now they're the same.
Well, I mean, that happened in Houston. Magic 102 and 97.9 are both owned by Clear Channel.
Clear Channel owns every goddamn thing.
But before them,
right.
house to me came in as hip house.
Okay.
Doug Lazy, Let It Roll is the first house song I ever heard, but it was shoveled in under hip hop.
Okay.
Got it.
And I was like, the music sound different. I mean, dude flowing a little bit, but that music, there's something about that music that I'm liking a little bit more than at the time NWA. And I'm a true school hip hop artist, lover. So then, you know, the inner city, Good Life, Jungle Brothers, that whole hip house era was Houston's way of bringing it in. My relatives moved up to Chicago. That's how I got on, because one of the first Chosen Few picnics was associated with the Taste. And I was up there doing that summer.
Yeah, they used to have it holiday. They used to have it 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
No, they used to have it.
Yeah, because the Bulls had just won their championship. I was there for
They
that.
used to do it behind the museum.
Y'all get this in Houston. Y'all getting Chicago history
Right here.
with a little bit more broader scope of music.
Deep house in Chicago, they mean disco.
Yeah,
Oh, he
and
going deep. He run hard, he playing it, they mean disco.
my thing is, if I'm from a whole different part of the world and have a wide knowledge base of all house music, I find it almost laughable that people from where it came from don't know where it went.
Right.
Here's the other thing.
You know why? Your DJs keep shoveling in the same shit.
But I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and this,
That's why when we at the
They gonna never
party,
know what steak
we
tastes like.
are literally on their ass requesting new shit. We don't want all that old shit. Bring in some new shit.
but I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm from Houston. Well, I grew up in Austin, but live in Houston. What do y'all know about Screw? They looking
For the slow motion hip hop shit.
right, but that. How much does that mean to you? Does it have any personal attachment to you?
That's just southern.
Just something that happened, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
DJ Screw.
DJ Screw. Right. Doing.
Hence the name Screw Music.
What's the big tall light skinned rapper? What's his name? Cadillac.
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug.
Oh no, he was doing it well before then. That's when y'all got it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
So I went to Prairie
That's how it
View,
happened.
Black College. 1994 was the first year that shit jumped off, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Honestly, I'm like, you know, shit sound fucked up. That became a new era for us. Meant nothing to y'all. Meant nothing to the West Coast. Meant nothing to the East Coast. Chicago people in Houston don't realize that because it meant something for y'all up there, didn't mean it got down to other places. So when you start judging other DJs under the umbrella of house, you can't hold them by your measuring stick, because your measuring stick only apply to the people where you
dialects of house music. Like language.
It's just like hip hop. Beastie Boys don't sound like Common.
Now, I had a conversation with Farley one time. He did a party at this club in Harvey. And, you know, Farley went over to Europe, and he been doing a whole lot of house music over there. So he changed his style up a lot. You know
Yeah, to fit in where he was at.
He was upset because people really wasn't dancing at this party because, you know, the premiere over in Harvey on 147. Farley did his party about 2 years ago. It was a big, huge party. People wasn't feeling his new music. You know what I'm saying? Because bringing that stuff from Europe. But a lot of that crowd was that crowd we talking about, that all they want to hear is that 1981, 1988. That's all they
And
want to
see,
hear.
I respect classics, and I think that there's nothing wrong with doing classics. But when you think that anybody playing outside of classics is not official, I think that's like me telling dubstep people that they music not right when there's people telling my house music ain't right.
I tell you what. we talking about old and new. I kind of believe you got to shovel a little bit of the new in with the old. There's a DJ in Chicago named Jamie 326. I think he does the absolute best of bringing new in with the old. And then remember, a DJ, it's the reason why you hire a DJ. Request, you can take some, but you
you got two types of DJs though.
Yeah, right.
You got the artist, you got the entertainer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. Chicago people who are real stuck up about their house music, from what I know, a lot of Chicago house wasn't made in Chicago. They just DJs, they just playing the music.
Most of it came from New York.
Claiming it as their own.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
New York, but
they started house.
Right.
But you got to remember
but you
though.
got Detroit too.
Yeah,
where did Frankie
music?
But they were techno technically.
Right.
But Frankie Knuckles, where did he move from?
New York. No, he's from New York.
So I mean, New York still got a hand in it. It's like, where did you live at the time that you made your song?
But those certain tracks were unique to Chicago alone.
Oh yeah, there's stuff
that was the difference, because the sound that was coming out of New York was disco.
Yeah.
This out.
You know,
Chicago DJs need to travel other places and show them the shit, play them the shit. And when if it goes so cliquish with the music.
Because even the Chicago North Side, South Side, I'm not even from y'all city and know about that difference.
Exactly. Well, up north you got Sean Alvarez and David Sabat and all the players north.
Lego, everybody.
Right. But a lot of people don't go up there because they want to hear what's down here on the south side, south suburbs.
Well, here's the key. When you book a Farley or you book somebody like that, you're gonna get a certain age.
You're gonna get a certain demographic
get
for that.
35 to 50. Because Farley's had his 50th birthday party.
Yeah, he been in the game a minute.
Those people coming out, they're waiting to listen to what he played back then.
Yeah, but it's meaningful to them because it was a part of their life. And that's the thing, is people act like life only was during a small window of time. I'm 38. So I wasn't kicking it in 79. My ass was 5 years old.
Right.
You know, the disco we got wasn't no club scene for that in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, when I think disco, I'm thinking that's my mom and dad music that I had to listen to in the car against my wishes.
But remember, that disco we were listening to, remember DJs back then for technology, they were playing a record and they play the next record. When the technology said we could get two turntables together, and disco evolved.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I done studied all of the old heads of the game from when they were doing it on reel to reel.
Actually, I was down in Houston, and they had a really good scene. Lars Bandroff did a set down in Houston.
I was at that set.
You that set?
I know that man.
I was down there for a meeting. I couldn't make it out. I was out in the woods.
Yeah, he was at Avant Garden.
And you get Lars Bandroff to come to Houston.
Yeah, he was playing.
Hey, you got a crowd.
Did you go to ULI?
I went to Illinois State. Okay. You went to ULI? Okay.
All right, give him a shout out.
Big house comes to ULI. I State too. All come from Chicago.
Shit, that's like a DJ named Ferris Thomas, who don't play house no more. He all hip hop.
On the radio stations.
Gone.
He will play at the outset.
Yeah, but it's very,
You know, he in the. But that's where he started. Was he?
All right, well, I need y'all to let them know where y'all from, what side, so they know that this is official. They ain't gonna say I went and found some haters from Houston.
No, I'm Steve Fisher from Chicago, West Side, representing all the way.
Bartell Williams, Hazel Press, South Suburbs.
All right, so you hear y'all got it. Chicago people that are here at Mi Casa holiday. This is 2012. This ain't no old shit. They letting y'all know right now. House gotta grow. It can't stay where it's always been, and it gotta go where it gotta go. We checking out. I'm sure we gonna get them down here, H-Town, or I'm gonna come up there, put it down, one or the other. Peace.